Hello and welcome to Beyond D&D. This is Corbin and today we'll be discussing Demon the Descent. So what is Demon the Descent? It is a game that is based on the Chronicles of Darkness setting and it centers around biomechanical fallen angels fighting against their false god, which is called the God Machine. The main antagonist of Demon the Descent is the God Machine. Players are never expected to be face to face with the God Machine, but they will observe its plans, which are carried out by angels using infrastructure. A good example of this is an angel sacrificing mortals on an altar to stop a natural disaster. In this scenario, the occult matrix is sacrificing the mortals, and the infrastructure being used is the altar. Sometimes animals and humans can get mutated by the infrastructure. This typically creates cryptids and stigmatics, respectively. A cryptid usually can range from looking like a hellhound to Bigfoot, and they have intelligence that varies from being like an animal to being far beyond human intelligence. Whereas stigmatics, they're still human, but they get prophetic visions from the God Machine and have access to supernatural merits. This doesn't mean that they're allied with the God Machine, but it does mean that angels and demons can greatly benefit from having stigmatics as cultists or bodies, especially Canon Father. When an angel questions the God Machine's plan, it is possible for that angel to fall and become a demon. When this happens, the demon is cut off from the powers of the God Machine, but it takes with it tricks to manipulate reality, embeds which bend reality, and exploits which break reality. If the God Machine catches a demon, it will remove their free will and turn them back into angels. When an angel falls, the God Machine loses all trace of them. The mortal cover the angel once wore now protects the demon. Without the God Machine's infrastructure, a demon's cover may deteriorate over time. As such, demons will make pacts for parts of mortals' lives, such as items of great importance or even relationships. A demon could make a pact to give a mortal beauty in exchange for a mortal's abusive ex, and now that ex thinks they broke up with the demon instead of the mortal. Demons can also make deals with mortals that allow them to remove a person's soul and wear that person's body as cover. This is called a soul pack. Demons are essentially spies, and as such, their society is all underground. Unlike the kings and queens of the Changeling game or the princes of the Vampire game, demons don't have a centralized leadership. Instead, they form groups called rings with their closest allies, and sometimes a number of these rings will form together into an agency, which is just essentially a spy agency. When making a demon, you make it very similarly to a Chronicles of Darkness character, but then you apply the demon template. When making a demon, you need to decide what type of angel it was, what philosophy it follows, what powers it has, and what its demonic form does. All demons are perfect liars, so any method to detect lies, such as a polygraph or a spell, will default to whatever the demon wants it to be, either the truth or a lie. Demons can also speak nearly every language except for dead languages and fictional ones. Essentially, there are some exceptions. The first three angel types are Destroyer, Guardians, and Messenger, and they're exactly how they sound. Yet, the tasks that they are given can take many forms. A destroyer might be assigned to destroy a relationship instead of a person, or a messenger might be assigned to burn down someone's building to send a message. To use D&D terms, you might want to say the destroyer is kind of like a ranger, a guardian's kind of like a barbarian, messengers are kind of like bards. The psychopomp is kind of like a crafting class, and then the analysts are, I guess, wizards. The metaphor kind of breaks down at this point. Mechanics wise, you have to have a power that is favored by your incarnation, and I'll go over that in the embeds and exploits section. I'm just gonna gloss over agendas a little bit. Essentially, they're how your demon feels about the God Machine, whether or not they want to investigate the God Machine, figure out a way to improve the God Machine, to kill the God Machine, or to just enjoy life without the God Machine. Mechanics wise, all Agenda gives you is just an extra way of gaining XP in certain social circumstances. Embeds and exploits are the special abilities of demons. Embeds are much more subtle than exploits. They are broken into four categories. You have the Cacophony embeds, which are favored by the Destroyer Angels, which help deal damage, such as allowing you to instantly knock out an opponent. Then you have the instrumental embeds, which are the favored ones for Guardians, which deal with environment manipulations such as making every shot in a firefight miss. Mundane embeds are the favored of Psychopomps, and they help the demon keep themselves unnoticed. Mainly cause a main one is causing people to think you are supposed to be in a restricted area when you're not. Vocal embeds are the favored of messengers, and they help with dealing with people, with getting people to open up to you and tell you the truth. Lastly, we have exploits, which are the favored abilities of analysts. They're like embeds, except they're dialed up to 11, and you actually require certain embeds to use them. So you might have an ability that allows you to use your gun to kill any mortal you see. Well, with an exploit, now that ability is sending out Hellfire rounds, which deal aggravated damage, which is the highest level of damage in the game. But it also risks getting the attention of angels and also costs the equivalent of mana aether that is used in the game. Demon form is worth an entire video on its own, but let's say here that being in demon form attracts the attention of angels. However, you can transform parts of your body for partial transformations, which aren't as risky. Suddenly your arm is a gun, or your eyes turn green because you need night vision. Switching your form around costs aether like exploits, and you have to get it back. When I ran my players through Demon the Descent, I broke the story into two states of play. There's the world where that's through their cover's eyes, and the world through their demons. Maintain this separation and try and see how your players will interact with the conflicting parts of their character's life. Early game plots can easily revolve around a Stranger Things style plot where the characters notice odd occurrences happening nearby, and then they investigate and discover a group of stigmatics or something in a laboratory trying to summon an angel. Simple plot, and it puts demons against a small group of stigmatics, which will help them get a sense for how the game works. Perhaps they pretend to be cultists wanting to help the stigmatics, or maybe they try to dismantle the infrastructure that will summon the angel, or they could just go guns blazing in. What have you. The choice is up to your players, and you as a storyteller will help tell them the results of their endeavors. I hope this gives you a better understanding of Demon the Descent, and that inspires you to go forth and create your own Demon the Descent games. If you like this video, please click the like button, subscribe, or leave a comment below, whatever you want. I'm currently writing up a Mage the Awakening video, but I did this one first because it was the Chronicles of Darkness system that I'm most familiar with, and I started out with. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.